Hello friends, I'm Lokesh, your mentor at mentorbuddy.com. We have a question based on time, speed and distance. The question says, A and B are running along a circular course of radius 7 km in opposite directions such that when they meet they reverse their directions, and when they meet A will run at the speed of B and vice versa. Initially the speed of A is thrice the speed of B. Assume that they start from M0 and they meet at M1, then at M2, next at M3, and finally at M4, which is the point that coincides with M0. So let us see how we can solve this question. Just by reading it, we can say that this question belongs to circular track category. So let us approach the question. Now, because this is a circular track question, let us draw a circular track where A and B are running along a circular track of radius 7 kilometers. So let me write radius as 7 kilometers in opposite directions. So if this is assumed to be the starting point, A is running in this direction, then obviously B will be running in the opposite direction, such that when they meet they reverse their directions, and when they meet A will run with the speed of B and vice versa. So please understand there are two things that we have to keep in mind, that their direction and speeds are changing when they are meeting at the points. Also, because radius is given as 7 kilometers, therefore circumference of the circle becomes 2 pi r, and that is equal to 2 multiplied by 22 by 7 multiplied by radius, which becomes 44 kilometers. Also, it is given that the speed of A is thrice the speed of B. That is, if speed of A is A and speed of B is B, their speed is in a relationship of A is thrice the speed of B. So now what is happening? If A is running 3 parts of the total course, B will be running just 1 part of it. That means out of the total distance, they would be covering the distance in the ratio 3:1, and by this we can say A will be covering 33 kilometers and B will be covering 11 kilometers. So the distance covered by A would be 33 kilometers. In the same time, B will be covering 11 kilometers. Now, as we can see, the distances are in the ratio 3:1. That means the total segments would be 4. So there will be 4 equal segments of 11 kilometers each. So we can divide this circular track into 4 equal segments of 11 kilometers each. Also, it is given that assume that they start from M0. That means this point should be M0. And they first meet at M1. Now let's see how they meet and when they meet. So when A is traveling from this side, and because A has to cover 33 kilometers, which is equal to 3 segments, because one segment is of 11 kilometers and B will be covering one segment. So when A travels from the left hand side, it will cover 1, 2 and 3 segment, and B when traveling from the right hand side covers only one segment, so they meet at this point for the first time, and this can be termed as M1 as given in the question. Now when they meet, two things will change. One is the direction and the speeds. So because B is coming from this direction, he will reverse his direction. So B will run in the opposite direction, and similarly A will also reverse the direction and will run in the opposite direction. So now virtually this M1 becomes their origin point. But this time speed for A becomes 11 and speed for B becomes 33. So three segments will be covered by B and one segment will be covered by A. And as we know, each segment is of 11 kilometers. So when A travels from here for one segment, this is where he will reach. And in the same time, B will cover three segments and will reach here. And this can be termed as M2. Since B is coming from this direction, after meeting, he will reverse the direction. And because A was coming from this direction, A will again reverse the direction. And the next time A will travel with again 33 kilometers and for three segments, and B will cover 11 kilometers, that is one segment. So because B was here and he is traveling in this direction, he will reach here, and in the same time A will travel all the three segments and will come to this point, and this will be termed as M3 now. So B is coming from here, from this direction. After reaching M3, they reverses their direction. So B again goes back in the opposite direction. And since A was coming from here, A will reverse his direction and will go in this direction. And after meeting at M3, they again reverses their speeds as well. I mean, they exchange their speed. So A will run for 11 and B will run for 33. So A from here will run for 11 and will reach at this point. B from here will go all the way through the circle and will reach to this point. And this point becomes M4 again. So now when the question is asking us which is the point that coincides with M0, we can say that M0 coincides with M4. And therefore, my answer to this question becomes option number 4. So this is how simple it is. We can easily reach to the conclusion and find out the answer by going through a step-by-step process based on circular tracks. I hope everyone has understood the method and the concept behind it. Thank you everyone.